Video games are winning Oscars, Toys for Bob is developing Warzone, and Invincible has been renewed for seasons 2 and 3. Hi, I'm your host Daniel, and this is your weekly roundup. Caden hasn't made the intro song yet. On Monday, the 26th of April, the week began with the 93rd Academy Awards. And although our favourite Blue Hedgehog was snubbed of its Best Picture hopes, video games weren't entirely neglected during the prestigious event. Respawn Entertainment and Oculus Studios took home the Academy Award for Best Documentary Short Subject. Natalie Clayton at PC Gamer writes, quote, Colette, a documentary joint produced by Respawn and Oculus, and freely distributed by The Guardian, follows one of the last surviving members of the French resistance as she returns to Germany for the first time in 74 years, visiting the concentration camp where her brother was killed. The documentary was produced as part of several live-action historical shorts created for the studio's VR shooter, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, and names Respawn CEO Vince Zampella as a co-producer. End quote. This win makes Respawn the first and only video game studio to ever be an Oscar winner. That's not all from the world of video game-related films. Last week saw the premiere of Warner Bros. Pictures' Mortal Kombat, a film reimagining of NetherRealm Studios' long-running fighting game franchise. While the film received mixed reviews from critics, those in the video game space were much more positive, with Polygon's Roxana Hadidi scoring the film 85 out of 100, and IGN's Mitchell Saltzman giving it a 7 out of 10 rating. Personally, I thoroughly enjoyed the film, and what it lacks in editing and a straightforward linear screenplay, it certainly more than makes up for in creative action, gruesome fatalities, and a plethora of references that fans of the series will love. After the finale of Marvel Studios' latest TV project, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the House of Mouse has confirmed the upcoming Captain America 4, starring Anthony Mackie as the titular character. Joe Schmidt from comicbook.com writes, quote, after taking on the mantle in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it looks like Anthony Mackie will headline his own film, with Captain America 4 officially in the works from Marvel Studios. The series showrunner Malcolm Spellman is returning to pen the script with Dallin Misson, which will likely continue the adventures of Sam Wilson as he embraces his role as the new Star-Spangled Avenger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As of now, there is no official release date for Captain America 4, and there are many spots in the still murky MCU Phase 4 timeline it could fall into. Sony and Insomniac Games have shared a 16-minute gameplay preview of their upcoming game, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, highlighting how the stunning game looks running in full ray-traced glory on a PlayStation 5. In the preview, our Lombax protagonist travels through a new setting for the franchise, Nefarious City, where he encounters Rivet, a new Lombax resistance fighter from a different dimension, voiced by Mass Effect's Jennifer Hale. Rift Apart will be hitting store shelves on June 11th exclusively for the PlayStation 5. Back to Respawn Entertainment. Over the past week, the studio has announced a plethora of new information regarding its Battle Royale hit, Apex Legends. When its new season drops next week, players will be able to try out the new legend Valkyrie, notably the daughter of Titanfall 2 antagonist Viper. Valkyrie's abilities all draw from those of her father's North Star Titan, having use of the Titan's signature jetpack and rocket launchers. That's not all in the realm of Apex news. The studio has also been debuting their latest mode to the game, Arena Mode. Takeo Uehara from the PlayStation blog writes, in this new mode, quote, each round is decided by eliminating the enemy team, with the final victory decided by winning at least 3 rounds and gaining a margin of victory of at least 2 rounds. Sudden Death decides the final winner on the 9th round when both teams are deadlocked at 4 wins each. That means that each game has a minimum of 3 rounds and a maximum of 9, end quote. This is quite the departure from the normal Battle Royale gameplay of Apex Legends, and a venture back towards the more typical team-based combat of the studio's previous flagship series, Titanfall. It is important to note that this mode is not a limited time event and is instead a permanent addition to Apex Legends. Players will be able to dive in to try the new legend and play the new Arena mode when the game's Season 9 starts on May the 4th. Crash Bandicoot studio Toys for Bob has become the latest victim of Activision's Call of Duty machine, after it was announced on Friday that the studio would be pivoting its development efforts to the franchise's insanely popular Battle Royale mode, Warzone. Toys for Bob joins not only the Call of Duty big guns Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer, but also smaller Activision sub-studios Raven, Beenox, Demonware, and High Moon in working on the franchise. As the scope of the yearly Call of Duty games increases, it appears that Activision is losing its grip on its previously well-oiled 3-studio rotation machine for developing yearly Call of Duty titles. But after Sledgehammer scrapping its last game, and the recently released Black Ops being pushed out the door early, the cracks are beginning to show. Add to that the cross-game Battle Royale sensation Warzone, which recently crossed 100 million players, and it makes sense why Activision is diverting all the resources it can to the first-person shooter giant. That being said, this does leave fans of the popular Crash Bandicoot series concerned regarding the future of their favourite protagonist. I also want you all to know I titled this story Toys for Bob, more like Toys for COD in my show notes, and I am very proud of that joke. Cyberpunk 2077 may have been a massive failure for publisher CD Projekt, with the game deemed so broken on consoles it was removed from the PlayStation Store due to quality concerns late last year. But that didn't stop board members of the Polish company from pocketing themselves a nice yearly bonus. Notorious games industry whistleblower Jason Schreier broke the story on Friday at Bloomberg, writing, quote, CD Projekt CEO Marcin Iwinski and co-CEO Adam Kaczynski are each slated to receive a bonus of 24 million zloty, or about $6.3 million, according to the company's annual report. Adam Badowski, a board member and the director of Cyberpunk 2077, will take home $4.2 million, end quote. Jason then goes on to write that, quote, some employees told Bloomberg they will receive profit-sharing bonuses of about $5,000 to $9,000, while other senior employees said they'll get closer to $15,000 or $20,000. This works out to be approximately $29.8 million in bonuses allocated toward the 865 employees of CD Projekt, a rather imbalanced figure compared to the $28 million that the 5 board members are set to receive. This comes after many reports that the Polish studio allegedly forced its developers to crunch on the game for over a year, while still pushing the game out the door unfinished and broken, tarnishing the otherwise spotless record of the studio forever. Feel well-known industry analyst Daniel Ahmad at ZHugeEX summarized the issue perfectly on Twitter, where he wrote, those 5 board members just worked 28 million times harder than the dev team. 2 years after its release, and after over a year of a pandemic that prevented people from gathering at each other's homes, Super Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch has added 2 brand new online modes. Jason Ullman at IGN writes, quote, Nintendo has released a free update for 2018's Super Mario Party, bringing more online play options to the game more than 2 years after it came out. Previously, players could only enjoy Super Mario Party's Mario Party and partner modes in offline co-op, but today's free update will modify the game so that players can host and play matches online. This means any Switch owners with a subscription to Nintendo Switch Online and a copy of the game can now enjoy the 2v2 or the 4-player free-for-all versions of this game's signature board game mode, from the comfort and the safety of their own homes. It's nice to see Nintendo finally stepping into the 21st century of online gaming. Ahead of its upcoming release, Resident Evil studio Capcom has announced the delay of Resident Evil Reverse, the multiplayer offshoot previously scheduled to release alongside Resident Evil Village on the 7th of May. Sean Prescott of PC Gamer writes, quote, the delay won't dramatically affect the launch of Village. This 6v6 multiplayer component appears to have very little to do with Ethan Winter's latest jaunt, despite being free to anyone who purchases Village, end quote. This means fans of the series will still have plenty to enjoy when Village releases later next week. While Capcom has yet to announce the new release date for Reverse, the game's website has been updated to read summer 2021 as the launch window of the new multiplayer mode. In its State of Play streaming event on Thursday, Sony and Among Us studio Innersloth announced that its Hidden Roles party game will finally be making its way to the PlayStation ecosystem later this year. This follows the release of the game on the Nintendo Switch in December, and its announcement for Xbox One and Xbox Series X the same month. Among Us for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 has no solid release date other than later this year, similar to the Xbox versions, but Innersloth did show off Ratchet & Clank cosmetics exclusive to the PlayStation version of the game. The PlayStation versions of the game will get cross-platform online multiplayer support, much like the current PC and Switch releases. On the topic of 2020 quarantine hits, developer Mediatonic announced that its Jelly Bean Battle Royale Fall Guys' planned summer Xbox release will be delayed for the foreseeable future. Quote, this delay gives our team some time to add features like crossplay, so when we add new platforms, players will be able to stumble in harmony with their pals, regardless of their platform of choice, end quote, Mediatonic explained in a blog post. Voice actor Matt Latner has confirmed that Anakin Skywalker will return in animated form sometime in the near future. Latner revealed in an interview with Entertainment Weekly for upcoming Netflix production Jupiter's Legacy, quote, there's some new Lucasfilm animation going on. I've been a part of some things I can't talk about yet. You'll see Anakin again. I never quite put Anakin down, whether I'm doing a video game or something new for Lucasfilm animation, end quote. This news follows confirmation that actor Hayden Christensen will be reprising his role of Anakin Skywalker in the upcoming Disney Plus spin-off Kenobi, meaning that over the next few years, fans of the character will have plenty of child-murdering, sand-hating Anakin content to consume. As of March 31st, entertainment giant Sony confirmed that it has sold 7.8 million PlayStation 5 units to gamers and scalpers worldwide. Sam Byford at The Verge writes, quote, Sony's last earnings report revealed that the company had shipped 4.5 million PS5 units worldwide through the end of 2020. That means 3.3 million units were shipped from January to March, giving an idea of Sony's current manufacturing capacity, end quote. This follows news that Sony will be investing $183 million into PlayStation exclusive titles over the next year. Chris Kerr at Gamasutra writes, quote, Sony has pledged to aggressively invest in its first-party studios over the next 12 months. Outlining those plans during an investor call, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki said that the PlayStation maker intends to strengthen its first-party portfolio, increasing development personnel and other in-house costs by approximately 20 billion yen, or $183 million year on year. End quote. After concerns with the distinct lack of PlayStation 5 exclusives, it seems gamers who managed to be a part of the lucky 7.8 million who managed to get their hands on a PS5 amid supply constraints will have plenty of new games to sink their teeth into over the coming years. And for our last story of the week, Prime Video's animated venture into the superhero genre, Invincible, was confirmed to be renewed for Season 2 and 3 ahead of its finale on Friday. The streaming service's adaptation of Robert Kirkman's beloved comic of the same name has received the love and praise of viewers and critics alike. Kirkman took to Twitter to break the news himself in the form of a FaceTime call sketch with series lead Stephen Ewan. I'm only going to say this once. If you have not watched or you are not planning on watching Invincible, you are making a mistake. It is phenomenal. Even if you have no interest in the superhero genre, just watch to the end of the first episode and I can guarantee it'll have its hooks in you. It is so good. So that is your roundup for this week. Was there anything I missed? If so, let me know on socials at DanielF737. Make sure you follow the weekly roundup on podcast services and you head over to the Slotcast YouTube channel to catch the video version of this show each and every week. Until next week, see you later.